share and love funds. Today we have our anatomy guru in from Westport, Connecticut, Presence Wellness owner, Peter Icavello, and he is going to walk us through the anatomy of chicken pose just really quickly so we're all on the same page. It's this pose that is part of our RYT 300 yoga teacher training, one of the signature 84 classical hatha yoga poses.
Awesome. So thank you, Ashley, for that introduction. And yes, anatomy is so important. So the video prior to this is just cues how to get into the pose, but you also have to know the benefits and contraindications. So as we weave in the anatomy, this will be a quick video, I talk a lot, but as we weave in the benefits of this pose, we'll weave in some of the anatomy, right? And then we'll weave in some contraindications. So contraindications are very important, not to be afraid of, but to lean into and to understand, like, what does that mean, contraindication? It means that if somebody's experiencing something or has this going on in this moment or has something going on with a certain part of their anatomy or their body or whatever, they shouldn't do all or part of this pose. Does that make sense? To me, it does. So as we do this pose, I'm gonna cue Ashley again. So Ashley, come into mountain pose. And Mr. Bones off to our left there.
So this is my partner in crime.
Partner in crime.
He gives good head scratches.
Yes, he's a good cuddler too. All right, so come into mountain pose.
He's a great listener.
He is the best. He's listened so much he's lost all his skin. All right, lift up through the crown of the head. Ground down through your feet. So just shift your weight forward and back in this mountain pose. Find the ball of your feet, find the heels, ball of the feet, and heels. And now ground through your feet, ground down. So root down to the earth. Imagine your feet, your toes reaching down like roots into the earth. And imagine yourself growing like a tree, rising up through the midline, rising up through your spine and right through the crown of the head. And scissor your thighs together to engage your pelvic floor. Pull the belly in to support your spine. Palms face forward, lifting up through the crown again. Make that adjustment. So it's a constant adjustment. So this is effortless effort, right? So you are working, your body is working, and what you're creating here is what's called proprioception, which we do discuss in anatomy, meaning aware of your body in space. So since this is an anatomy video, we will introduce those words again. Proprioception. Just simple meaning is aware of our body in space. And mountain pose is the best way to gain awareness of what our body is doing in space, especially with our eyes closed. It helps us engage the muscles that we need to engage. And then from here, Ashley, as you open the eyes, take the light of the room back in. Inhale, the arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower your hips down. Maybe you bring your feet a little wider if you'd like. So lower your hips down. Coming into Malasana, however, just coming to Malasana first. Get the stretch in your quads. So right here, Malasana, we start there. So stretching her quads, strengthening her hamstrings and glutes, okay? And also toning her lower back, relieving any issues, any pain. Stretching her calf muscles or gastrocs, all right? Stretching her quadriceps, thighs, we've already said that, hamstrings, glutes. Inner thighs are stretching as well, okay? And then from here, Ashley, inhale, just lift your hips up ever so slightly to allow your arms to reach behind you. So now we're stretching our shoulders and chest, and we're reaching under the thighs, bring your hands on the inside of your knees for a moment there. Start there. Now, lower your hips down. And then from here, bring your hands together in prayer pose. Now, we'll keep Ashley here for the duration of this video, which is an hour. Just teasing. So what we're doing here is with Ashley gazing her eyes forward, looking at the camera, she's strengthening her upper back, strengthening her shoulders, strengthening her chest, but also stretching. This is a big time stretch. And if she's sustaining this pose, she's strengthening her quads, her hamstrings, her glutes, and if she just lifts her chest just a bit more, beautiful, and lifts her gaze, looks out in front, now drops her hips down again, make that adjustment. Look at all the anatomy that's going on here. Strengthening quads, stretching calves, stretching hamstrings, strengthening her lower back, strengthening her core to sustain her. That's what's sustaining her. And now the upper body, stretching her chest and arms. And now from here, I'll ask Ashley to slowly take the arms out from behind her, plant the hands onto the earth, and then gently press your hips up into a forward fold. So while Ashley is in this forward fold, I'm going to leave her here for a few moments just to rest in her forward fold. So let's go over the anatomy just a little bit. So glutes, hamstrings, calf muscles. So when we're in that bend, we're going to, if you cooperate, this is that bend. This is what this does, right? Our legs are like this. So you're strengthening, you're stretching your quads, strengthening your hamstrings, strengthening your glutes, stretching your calf muscles. You're stretching your calf muscles, strengthening your shin muscles here. You're stretching your inner thighs. You're stretching your inner thighs. Therefore, toning your core by pulling your belly in. And then, what you're doing is you're stretching your sacrum. You're stretching the muscles in the sacrum because this doesn't move that way, but technically your body's doing this to open up your sacrum. And then what you're doing is you're stretching your inner thigh muscles, or the big muscle in there called abductor magnus. What's going on with your psoas, which attaches here? You're strengthening and toning your psoas as well. And then when your arms are wrapped around this way, and then under, and then coming into prayer, what you're doing is you're stretching your upper back and strengthening your chest. So just remember there's a lot going on. You're also strengthening your bicep muscles because you're contracting this way to hold that pose. And then the other benefits are concentration, right? So the mental benefits, or the mind part, is concentration. And you're opening up your energy pathways and breath. So just know there's a lot going on with this pose. Now inhale, half lift. Hands to shins. Press into your feet. Exhale, rise up to mountain pose. Arms rest alongside you. You can either come back to closing your eyes or have a soft gaze. Just notice how we feel.
Namaste.
Namaste.